I do not feel ready for this package. Okay, now I feel ready. Hello everyone, welcome back to Outside the Box, number 51. Are we ready for 50 more of these? Because I think I have enough packages for that. You might be hearing in my voice, sounds just a little bit off. I'm a little bit under the weather. I think I'm actually on the upswing, but don't worry, I'm taking care of myself, getting plenty of rest, opening awesome packages. Speaking of today, we've got a big one, but of course I do want to say Japan was lovely. We got to see the life-size unicorn Gundam statue, which just on its own is pretty damn impressive to behold. And I had no idea that there was a light show that they put on, I think about every 30 minutes or so, which goes back and highlights a lot of the previous Gundam shows, since I think it's celebrating some kind of an anniversary. It was fantastic. It was a ton of fun to check that out. And then right behind the Gundam, there's like some kind of a shopping center, some kind of a mall, which there was a food court, and we had some of the most amazing ramen there. The ramen that you'll get at a food court in a mall in Japan is gonna be a heck of a lot better than the ramen that you'll get at any kind of a fancy restaurant here, in my experience. I loved it, I loved it. And of course, we also visited Kamurocho, which, hang on, I know. Kabukicho, which if you've checked me out over on Twitch, you know that I've been playing through the Yakuza games, and a lot of it takes place in the Kamurocho region of Japan, which is basically lifted off of Kabukicho, the real-life place that exists in Japan. And yeah, they have the red sign there in the front, and walking through those streets, man, it is just as crazy as it is portrayed in the Yakuza games, if not even crazier. I mean, I didn't run into any Yakuza that I know of, but we were approached on the street asking if we wanted to see, certain ladies, which, I wasn't there for that. And I was very curious to see how well the layout matched up with the game. I know that it's not one-to-one. They do shrink down a lot of things a la GTA, right? But yeah, I could definitely make out what I think was a Millennium building. And there's that wide open area that's next to the Sega arcade in the game. It's there in real life, and we definitely had to take a trip over to Don Quixote. The music playing, it's really there. Just a ton of people. But yeah, it was pretty crazy. Unfortunately though, our trip, it was sadly cut short. We had to come back the very next day, and so I didn't have any time to make any actual purchases, Transformers related or anything else really. But of course it goes without saying, I do plan on going back. 100%. Now that I've had a taste, I will be back. I just don't know when. And even though I didn't make any purchases, it's okay, because our great unboxing of 2025 has definitely spilled over to 2026, right? There's lots of packages that remain to be opened. There's already about 3 more boxes that got added. So let's get cracking. We've got a special one here today. And you know what I'm gonna say? I've had this for months. In fact, let's find out just how long I've had this. Got this off of eBay. This got delivered September 16th, 2025. So it's been about 4 months as of this recording here. Now, you've seen the thumbnail, you know what this is. It's a G1 Megatron. And when you purchase one on eBay, well, when I purchased mine, I got an email right away from the seller telling me, hey, the G1 Megatron, I'm gonna ship it outside of eBay. I don't remember the exact reason. It wasn't because of tariffs. I think it was because of customs or whatever rules eBay has. So he provided me an actual tracking number for that shipment outside of eBay. And for the actual eBay shipment, he sent me some very awesome stickers for my trouble. And I thought that was really awesome. I wasn't expecting anything extra, and these are just great. Now, they're just regular stickers. They're not like dry rub decals that I use on the customs, so I won't be able to use them for that, unfortunately. But it's still cool, although I really don't anticipate using these at all. I'm not the kind of guy that likes to put stickers on things, like on a laptop, or even like on my hobby desk or anything like that. I mean, what am I, like 12? No. Okay, let's get cracking here. All right, now the problem is, because I've had this package for 4 months now, if there's anything other than the G1 Megatron here, I'm pretty much assed out. There's no take backsies. This packaging seems to be completely taped up for one thing, so I don't know how it's gonna open up exactly. Okay, that's probably not it. No, wait, no, yeah, that is. Oh shit, okay, whoa. Oh, okay, all right. Let me show you all here. That is definitely a G1 Megatron, without a doubt. Packaging, pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. We have some cardboard bits protecting the corners here. That is good. Very much all of that third-party company, I forget their name, that likes to put these little corner bits on the outside packages. We have some styrofoam here on top, protecting that, and the actual package itself. Wow, okay. Wow, this looks fantastic. Now, right off the bat, this is not an original G1 Megatron. The packaging is not exactly mint condition. There's a little bit of a dented corner here, not drastically, but just a little bit of a ding there. So, you know, it's not 100% mint condition. I would not have the budget for an actual G1 Megatron. And then when you're able to get them with the packaging, usually the packaging is, it tends to be pretty beat up. I don't know what they actually go for. This is a knockoff reconstruction of G1 Megatron in a reconstruction of the original G1 packaging, and I am 100% okay in having this just as a display piece. You know, this is something that I definitely plan on just displaying in the packaging itself. Maybe a little bit in bot mode, right? Obviously, I'm a child of the 80s. I grew up with G1, but I didn't own a lot of G1 Transformers. I didn't own any of like the main dudes. I know I've mentioned this before. I don't remember exactly who was my first one. I owned one of those monster bots, the two-headed dragon that had that little sparking feature, which they would never do today. And I remember having an Insecticon, and I remember having that 2-pack of cassettes, that monkey and the hawk that combined into one dude. Squawk Box, I think was the name of it. That's pretty much all I had, right? But I did have a neighbor who lived in front of my apartment who had a lot of stuff. And so by default, he was my best friend growing up. I don't think he ever had a G1 Megatron though. He had a bunch of like the city Transformers and whatnot. I think he had Optimus, but I have never held a G1 Megatron or a knockoff for the matter, ever, until right now. So even though it's a knockoff, this feels a little bit special. This feels a little bit special. I can see all of the chromey bits that the gun has, and then just like the regular gray plastic for other certain pieces, black plastic for the handle. I think it's a pretty accurate recreation of what the original G1 Megatron toy looked like. He does have the accessories. I think he's got others hidden behind the cardboard, but he's got his fusion cannon. And this, I think, is, what in the hell is this? It's not his sword, right? He's got this thing. I'm not sure what that is, but I know he came with it. We have some nice photos. Hey, guess what? These are not 3D renders. These are photographs of the toy. And I know you can convert the gun accessories to be some kind of an external weapon there, and just the beauty of the figure itself. And of course, the Walther, right? I keep saying Walter. It sounds more natural saying Walter, but I know it's Walther P38 pistol, which ironically enough, it never actually came. I don't think it actually ever came with that scope and that piece on the back of the barrel. That was from that one show Man from U.N.C.L.E., I believe, which is kind of a weird homage to have. Of course, we know this came from Diaclone, and I guess someone in Takara must have been a fan of the show. It's just one of those weird things. But obviously, we could imagine Megatron without all those extra bits. The beautiful, iconic G1 artwork, man. You don't get much greater than that. And you know, as a kid, I don't remember if as a kid I realized how the artwork wasn't 100% of what you were going to get of the figure out of the box. Sometimes it would be in different poses that you could never create with the figures, but it was just really good to look at. It was just awesome artwork. On the sides here, some more beautiful shots of the toy, the accessories, the weapon, some awesome stuff. Same thing, the exact same thing on the other side. And on the back, we all know this iconic piece shows a close-up here of Optimus Prime. I always loved how he had his Autobot symbol here, right on the back of his fist. I saw somebody recreate that. I think it wasn't with the Missing Link Optimus. I think it was with that Legacy Optimus figure that was a recreation of the G1 toy. Or I think there were the some kind of sticker set that you can buy to add that to him. And I think that's really cool too, just to recreate that look that he never had in the toy or in the cartoon. But they were just artists kind of interpreting what the toys would look like in full motion. Obviously, all the Autobots are fighting in space. I guess you don't need any kind of a spaceship. Back then, there was a time when all of the Autobots could fly before they kind of put the kibosh on that. And then we see Starscream here, looking very nice. And He's not holding Megatron. We don't see Megatron back here, ironically enough. Oh, and of course, all of the tech specs for Megatron here. I don't know if this comes with the red plastic to decode it. You can kind of make it out. You can kind of make it out. And thankfully, we do get 4 robot points for this purchase. I'm gonna actually say that, and maybe get something nice from Hasbro in the future. I don't know. I'll reach out to them. All right, I'm gonna try and carefully, as carefully as I can, unbox this here. Again, not an original. You don't have to be completely precious, but I don't want to, you know, mess it up more than I have to. Oh, there's actual styrofoam in here too, as they came back in the day. Whew, boy. There's stuff here on the back. What do we have? Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, that's right. They all came with stickers. Whoops. This is the instruction, I believe, but they came with the stickers to add all of the robot-y details and extra color bits to all of the figures. Yeah, I know most of them came with stickers. It's funny, I don't think I'm gonna be applying these because I know once you put on stickers like these on a figure, they don't last forever, obviously, right? They do tend to kind of curl up and degrade over time. Now, I don't know how accurate of a reconstruction of the accessories this sheet of paper is. Again, never owned it myself, never had it, but it's a full color instruction sheet, so I'm thankful for that. Here you can see the pure red plastic to decode the tech specs. I know a lot of them came with that poster sheet that was like a collector's checklist of all the other Transformers. That would have been cool to have. I don't see that here though. I think that's it as far as sheets that comes with it. That's totally fine. But that was always awesome to have, to see what else you were missing out on, you know? There's definitely something that went inside of here though, and I don't think it was the instructions, not quite big enough for that. So is this maybe where the poster was inserted? I have to maybe double check some photos, but definitely had something in there. Or maybe this isn't an inaccurate recreation. I don't know. This is too big to fit in there, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm not really looking for 100% accuracy. The package that I'm getting right now is already awesome enough. Has a little bit of weight to it. I don't have the hand of a child anymore, but you know what? It still feels pretty good in the hand. I know that in the original Diaclone version, you could actually insert BBs onto the gun, and it had an actual firing mechanism for that. I don't think any of the copies that were sold in the US had that. I think that was maybe a little bit too far, even back then for the US market. I don't remember exactly, but this one, I definitely doubt that this one would have it. It doesn't come with any BBs that I'm aware of. Oh, you can actually stand it up like this? Does that come up on camera? Yeah, wow. A lot of the weight is in the handle of the gun. That would just be awesome, just to kind of display like that, although probably wouldn't. I don't know if I want to have any just toy guns displayed like that. It looks real enough, right? Man, this is insane. This is insane. It does have the Hasbro marking and Takara. Takara copyright 1974, 1983, made in Japan, which I don't know if it's actually made in Japan now. And Hasbro, also copyright 74 and 83. Yeah, that's just how the mold was. One thing that I'm always curious, as far as, obviously it's a third party, it's a knockoff, it's a recreation, how they're able to make these. Obviously they don't have the original molds. They make their own molds, probably out of existing G1 figures, but then you read a lot about why Hasbro, why Takara Tomy nowadays can't make certain figures because they don't have the original molds to them. And I've always wondered, well, why can't they just make new ones, right? If someone could answer that for me, I'd appreciate that, because there's got to be a reason. Maybe it's a cost issue. Yeah, it's got some heft. All right, this I think you just kind of slide it on from the back. It looks like no, yeah, from the front. What? And obviously it's size appropriate for the gun in gun mode, and it's just a big honking weapon that he has in bot mode. The very first Masterpiece Megatron worried about having a super accurate Walther P38, and then they got as good of a Megatron that they could out of that. But because of that, the fusion cannon of that dude is freaking massive, right? Which is why I appreciate The later Masterpiece Megatron, I forget what numbers they are, but that one, they focused more on the robot mode, had a fusion cannon that was much more size appropriate for bot mode, and then they got a nice looking decent gun out of that, right? That's always my preference. But in G1, started with the weapon here. Oh, it does have an actual hole in here. Is it like a little piece of plastic? Nah, it's just a hole in here. Can you see it? Whoa, now careful where you're aiming this thing now. Let's see. We have our little hole handles here. This is for the silencer. Yeah, this is always tricky to put onto the latest Masterpiece Megatron because adding the silencer portion to the weapon can cause the paint to be chipped super easily. I think I only did that one time and then didn't bother with it afterwards. Here it's just a regular gray plastic. So I'm sure you can probably still scratch it if you do it a whole lot, but at least you're not chipping any paint. And speaking of which, I would never ever consider repainting an original G1. Even though it's a knockoff reconstruction, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. You could never recreate this really nice chrome plating on the weapon. I mean, I could give it like a nice even silver all around and whatnot, but no, it's too much of an iconic piece the way it is right now. I didn't know that this separated in G1. I'm guessing it's for whatever weapon you make on top of that, and now of course it doesn't. It still balances, but it doesn't stay upright. And then you add this piece. I know it kind of transforms a bit to make something else, but you just combine this. You add this back here, and now you have some kind of a rifle now, kind of a thing. Like, is this? I mean, it kind of looks cool. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a gun guy. This looks all right. Not bad, not bad. Okay. It's a piece of knockoff history, right? Is what it is. And then we have this last piece. Now I know Megatron came with a sword, not this version though. I thought it would have that. I don't know what this is. I don't know if there were like maybe different releases of Megatron that had different accessories. I'm not sure. This is some kind of a weapon. It looks almost like a little ship. Let me see if it has that in the instructions here. Oh, we don't even get our red plastic. What a ripoff, huh? We don't get our red piece of plastic. That's okay. Okay, the instructions do state that you get that little accessory piece. After the transformation though, doesn't really tell you where it goes. Interesting, interesting. We'll figure it out. I mean, I wasn't super torn on having the sword. It's perfectly fine. This is a nice piece of accessory for what it is. I'm sure it's just some kind of a weapon. It maybe just plugs into like the fist here on top or something. Let's see. Let's get this guy into his bot mode. I thought there was gonna be like a clicking sound too. At least it's a spring trigger. I'll leave the fusion cannon on. I think you can transform him with it on. Okay. Separate the legs. Shit. Oh, wait. Extend the legs first. That's number one. And then separate them. Wow. Whoa. Okay. And we take out the little toesies. Oh, yeah. Just like that. There we go. That's both feet out. That was all step one, by the way. Step two, we're gonna tilt the head back, and you can already start to see it here on the back. Tilt that section back. Wow, okay. I am gonna remove the fusion cannon only because it's not in the instructions. And we're tilting the arms back, it looks like, okay. Just like that. And we're separating them. Oh, wow, yeah, okay. Got it. Arms have been separated. Something else is going on here. Now we lift up the chest piece. God, it's doing like three things at once here. We lift up, no? Well, we're turning the chest piece. Maybe we have to do this first. There it is. Coming up at an angle here. Ah, there it goes. It doesn't feel the best, but now we have the chest lifted up. It does look bare because of the lack of stickers right now. I guess the legs come together there in the bottom. They don't click onto anything that I can see right now. I mean, I can kind of see how things are coming together. Oh man, yeah, these arms were like stubby, huh? Yeah, we're gonna extend the arms. And then there's a little slider here on the inside for the fists. Got that. buddy, is this it? Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Wait, does nothing really click into place? You just kind of place it where it needs to go? And we got his fusion cannon on here. Good thing that the shoulders are nice and stiff so that he can hold up the fusion cannon. Wow, okay. So let me see if I can just hold him nice and steady for you all. Here's G1 Megatron, knockoff version at least, in all of his robot glory. He does look impressive with all of the chrome on the upper body. And you know, you have to kind of have an 80s mindset about it. We've come a long way as far as designing these figures, and to see where it began, to get something tricky as getting a robot out of a gun, yeah, it's impressive. Of course, 100%. And so you gotta respect it. You know, you gotta respect where it started. None of the G1 Transformer toys look like their cartoon counterparts, but they look close enough where you can just use your imagination. This is 100% Megatron. And what's funny, I know that when they were designing these characters and they were looking at what the toys look like, how that silver section on Megatron's forehead was more meant to be some kind of like a chevron crest, very much a la the Datsun brothers. But because they incorporated the entire gun casing surrounding his head, they turned that into the helmet, and then they just fixed the proportions to make it look more normal in bot mode for the cartoon, right? They did that a lot. They did that a lot for a lot of the season 1 G1 Transformers. And then it's funny, I remember seeing a documentary, whereas I don't know if it was with season 2, they started to stick much more closer to what the toys look like. And so you get some bots, like for example, the cone heads. The original Seekers, there were a lot more changes made onto the bodies for proportion wise. But when you get to the cone heads, you can start to see how they stuck a little bit closer to the actual toy. And that's very fascinating to see. Fascinating stuff. Oh, I just noticed something. I have to bite my words here. Hey, look at that. Okay, let's find out how strong he is, huh? Wait, I can't see anything. I can't see anything. What does it say? Oh my God, I can barely see this. I'm guessing that's strength 9, intelligence 9.8, speed. Wow, he's not that fast at all. 3.5 on speed. Okay, well, I don't know how accurate that is, but at least we have that. Did anything else fall down? What is this? Oh no, you're kidding me. Are you for real? I gotta be careful. I actually got a G1 rub sign here, and it actually works. Oh, I've got news for y'all. Megatron's a Decepticon. Wow, okay. Where on the bot is this supposed to go? They don't put this on his chest. All right, I need to very carefully say this now. Well, okay, that's impressive. And obviously we have all of the necessary Decepticon symbols. He has some like on his hips for the toy. He definitely has one on his chest. Those iconic squiggly lines here for the chest as well. Some good stuff. Again, I think I'm gonna preserve this as is out of the box and just keep him the way he is, right? I'll probably display him in bot mode for a little bit up on my shelf, but for the most part, it's gonna go back in gun mode and it's gonna go back in the box and it's gonna look beautiful up on my shelf. But it's just surprising how nothing that I can see, nothing really snaps together. Maybe they didn't invent pegs at that time yet. Well, no, I'm lying. They had pegs. Some of these had pegs, but for this guy, nothing. And so any little shake, and he's kind of like done for. And I don't want to be overly aggressive with these pieces. It already doesn't feel like the most secure thing in the world. Okay, it does look like this plastic bar that connects to the arms kind of fits snugly on the back of the torso, so that feels a little bit more secure. But again, the head is not really snapping onto anything, just a little bit loose. And you know what? That's totally fine, man. This guy is 100 an accomplishment of engineering as far as a kid's toy goes. Man, fantastic stuff. I know that my little kid brain would have been blown away had I been able to hold something like this. I mean, could you imagine though, if I would just like go back in time and be like, yeah, that's awesome, but take a look at this guy. In the year 2025, we would go from this to this. I'm surprised it took so long, to be honest with you. We've had mainline renditions of G1 Megatron. Classics Megatron obviously took some liberties from the G1 look. You can't make a realistic gun here in the States and in other parts of the world. I'm surprised they turned them into a Nerf gun to begin with. I really am. We'll probably never get any kind of a hand weapon anymore, but even to get him as a nice little tank that has like 0 kibble virtually in bot mode is an accomplishment. It's so freaking awesome. So freaking awesome. But also, looking at these two together, it really begs the question that this guy would look so much more better with a nice coat of silver. He really would, and he's gonna get it someday. Has anybody painted their Studio Series Megatrons yet? I'm sure somebody has. I'm sure I'll get to it myself within the next 20 years. It'll happen. It'll happen. But I mean, doing a comparison as far as like accuracy is totally unfair. It's totally unfair. It's just astonishing to see how far toy design has come, you know? When they designed this guy, they weren't trying to make it look like Megatron because Megatron didn't exist. They just made a gun that turned into a robot, and then that got translated into a cartoon, and they fixed the proportions, but the toy remained the same, right? Even if they tried to get design for a G1 Megatron back in the 80s to look like the cartoon, it wasn't gonna get that close. It never was. What awesome stuff. What awesome stuff. Shall we take a look at the accessories into bot mode here? It does look like there's quite a bit going on here as far as separating them and rearranging them to get his bot mode weapon. Oh, you gotta utilize a fusion cannon. Let me get that back from you, sir. The only articulation on a fusion cannon that I can see is these little pegs that come out from the sides. And I'm guessing they're gonna be utilized for this. Okay, so this separates, right? Doesn't click into place. And again, I don't want to force it. It just kind of settles in there, but it could easily just kind of slip out. Okay, I don't know what these pieces are. Does this separate? Yes, it does. Wow, this whole thing just kind of comes apart, huh? Oh, no. You got to stick your nail in a little crevice and fold out a peg, but that's feeling pretty tight there. We got one out. Might need some assistance for this. Can you get this thing? I thought this piece in here had to snap in all the way, but it doesn't. I guess that's for articulation to be able to turn it. And it's a little bit loose because of that, but it's fine. And we're just one handle short. Couldn't get this other one out, and I'm not gonna try to force it out at this point. Oh, and Megatron does actually have, sorry, a little bit itchy here, little peg holes on the inside of his fists to accommodate handling that weapon. Sadly, his fists don't rotate, so they give you those peg holes instead. And because we only got the one handle, we're only gonna be able to use the one. Okay, we got it in there. And there he is, ready to use this big ass weapon that he never did in the show. He never did this in the show, right? No. I think you can recreate this with the Masterpiece version. And obviously with Studio Series 86, they weren't going to include all of those extra gun barrel bits to recreate that, because then that would be a little bit too much of a similarity to a weapon, I think. But that's not something I would ever really utilize myself. But it's kind of cool to have that. Oh, and then finally that weapon, I'm guessing it just kind of slides onto the fist. Pretty much like this, right? Yeah, still, I think a sword would have been cooler. I think it's more iconic for G1 Megatron, the toy, to have his sword. But that's cool. Yeah, he is definitely a finicky dude to handle. Again, maybe more so on this guy because it is a knockoff. I don't know how accurate the materials are to the G1 actual version, but I'm guessing the original dude was not perfection to mess with, you know. Old and the new. I'm 100% happy to have him. He's gonna have a permanent part in my collection here. I should have taken out the legacy version of Optimus Prime from the G1 toy and see how those two compare. I do plan to repaint that one, but I wouldn't mind having, again, another knockoff of a G1 Optimus Prime with his original trailer with the box, so I can have both of those displayed together. I may actually end up doing that. I don't know if I would get any more though, depending on what the price they're set at, and it's not anything that it was overly crazy when I bought it. I could see myself getting a Soundwave, I could see myself getting a Jazz. Other than that though, I'm not sure. Again, there's a bunch of Transformers that I never really got the chance to just hold myself. And maybe just for that factor alone, to have it in my grubby little hands, I might go for something. Well, we'll see. We'll see. But this is a blast. This is a blast from the past. I had a ton of fun checking this dude out, and I hope you did as well. As always, thank you so much for watching. I deeply appreciate it. If you'd like to support the channel, guess what? You already have just by watching. And if you'd like to go above and beyond, you can do so by just liking, subscribing if you haven't already, leaving a nice comment. You can also become a channel member and utilizing some awesome emotes here. Also, check out the merch store for some fantastic stuff. And of course, you can hit up patreon.com/hobbies with Jose and take a look at the many tiers available to you. You can tell me what custom to work on next. And I've got a ton of photos and videos of my latest projects, even the latest unboxings. But until the next one, take care of yourself, folks. Keep on customizing and have fun doing it, will you? You know, I should probably say that during an actual custom video, huh? Yeah, that's a thought.